Hey guys, nice to meet you guys. Well, I guess nice to meet you. I don't know. Okay, so I guess this is a little awkward for me right now just because I'm talking to a camera. But hey, here we are. Never thought I'd be here, but never say never. But anywho, I am B, short for Beatriz. Yeah, I'm 22. I'll be 23 in about 2 weeks, I want to say. And I have a bachelor's degree in kinesiology from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. And I am currently, well, about to start my master's in sports industry management at Georgetown University. So I'm excited about that. But besides those two, I am actually also the creator, if you want to call it, of WHATITDOBEE on Instagram and now on Facebook. So pretty much in Mexico I ate really good and I drank really good. I spent my 18th birthday there. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but I stayed there for 6 weeks. So 6 weeks flew by really quick, and I came back from Mexico heavy how I had left from Chicago. And I remember arriving at the airport and my dad and my mom, picking me up. But specifically my dad looked at me and he was like, kind of gave me that look like, dang, what happened to you? And he was like real quick. He did not wait to let me know, like, hey, you gained weight. He's like, oh, you look like a soccer ball, or like things like that, like, but at the moment I did take it personal just because, I mean, my dad was telling me and he didn't hold back on it. So, and I became aware of how big I was. So coming back from Mexico, I did gain weight. I'll post some pictures here and here, maybe here. So yeah, so I gained weight when I went to Mexico for 6 weeks. So that was summer 2015, and then fall 2015 is when I started my freshman year of college at Champaign. And with that, it came with, at that time I joined an organization, and then I was also a part of another club, and I was getting to know people. And at that time in Champaign you have to be 19 in order to get into bars. So at that time I was going to the house party with my friends, and like they're cool, they're like one of the best times during my undergrad, just because like all the stories that you just like, these freshmen just like wilding out and going to like these parties, and they're just really goofy moments to think about now, but they're probably one of the best. So yeah, so I didn't really do anything to help myself in terms of my weight loss journey during that period. Coming into sophomore year, same thing. I didn't really have the motivation to get it done. I did want to lose weight, but that was just me saying I want to lose weight and not necessarily doing anything about it. And then my sophomore year, that's the same year that I got on birth control. So I got on the pill. I'm not exactly sure which one I got on. To be frankly honest, I didn't do my research. I was just like, all right, I need to get on birth control because I'm new to this whole relationship thing. And yeah, that's pretty much what was going on in my head. I'm like, okay. So I got on birth control. I was on the pill, and with that, it sucked because I didn't realize how much an effect it took on my body until I got off of it. So I was on the pill for a couple of months, I want to say, or maybe a year. No, a couple of months. Until I realized that one of the side effects, which is depression, got to me. And in the beginning I was like I never even like looked at it, like I never even looked at the word depression, because I was like, it'll never happen to me, like something I never have to worry about, because I'm a happy-go-lucky person, I'm positive, and it's just one of those things that I told myself like you don't have to worry about it. But joke is on me. So that side effect really did hit home for me. It was probably one of my lowest points in my personal life in terms of like myself. It really struck me hard to this hole that I honestly never thought that I would get out of. It's one of those things where you don't know how it feels until you experience it, and like you feel like no one understands you, and not having that support, like it just sucks, like not having that support, especially from someone or people who you think that are there for you or are supposed to be there for you, but yet they're the same people that are bringing in that manipulation and that toxicity to your life, and just you being vulnerable to it and not really seeing it as for it is, but really what you want it to be. And I think I definitely fought through that mindset, just because I was like, no, like it'll work out. It's just me, like I'm the problem and I'm the one that needs to fix it, and I'm more of like, okay, I'll handle it myself. But when you're with someone or some people, say like your significant other or your group of friends, like of course they shouldn't be the ones in charge of making sure you're okay, but they should definitely be that support that you need, especially if they know it, and not using it against you to bring you even more down and sink into that hole deeper. So if you are going through depression right now, I'm always open to talk and help you how I can and how much you'll allow me to. But please, 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 please stay positive. I know it's easier said than done, and I know there are moments where you don't know if you'll even see light, but I promise you just stay in there, and it will get better, I promise you. And like I said, use me as a resource. I'm always open ears, and I'm definitely here if you guys need advice or just anything. I definitely did combat it for a period of time, and I realized that I needed to switch off of the pill. So that's when I got into the next one on, which is the implant that goes on your arm. And I got it just because I was like, okay, it's supposed to last up to 4 years, so I should be okay, assuming that I was going to be in a relationship still. And I ended up leaving my relationship, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made, just because it opened so many doors in terms of myself and being more like myself. I think that's definitely a pivotal moment for my own life, just because it was one of the hardest decisions that I ever had to make, and I was fighting it for months, trying to fix something that couldn't get fixed. You know, and it was like one of my first like real relationships, so it was definitely a hard moment for me. I won't go into detail just for privacy reasons, but it definitely took a toll on my mental health. But once you realize that you were not settling for less, that's when you realize, like, all right, there's better things out there for me, and whatever I need to get done, I'll get it done. And that's pretty much it. Like, it was, like I said, it was one of the hardest decisions I fought, and I remember just like leaving and just like feeling fresh, and I felt that guilt. And I remember talking to, you know, my sister-in-law or like my brother, and talking to them about it, and like, you know, even my close friends, well, someone that I met 2 weeks going into my senior year, and just feeling guilty. And they said, why should you feel guilty for knowing what's best for you? And that's when it struck me, and I was like, it was slowly kind of making more sense, and it was okay to be happy. And that's what struck me. I was like, it's okay to be happy. Like, it's okay to leave toxic environments. Like, it's okay. I know it's a huge switch around, just because whenever we're so comfortable within those environments or within those people, you get so stuck in there, and you just feel like, no, like, I'm comfortable here, leave me here. But once you realize, like, those around you realize it's not good for you, and you finally found that happy place, or you're finally starting to realize it, you shouldn't be holding back. So I definitely do thank a lot of definitely do thank my brothers and my sister-in-law, and, you know, super close friends that helped me through that time, because yes, I could have gone through it alone, but it definitely wouldn't have been such a smoother process had I not had that support from my loved ones, because it made a huge difference. And having that reassurance that I wasn't used to, and having that light that I wasn't seeing. Okay, so going into my senior year, I realized that I wanted more for myself. So luckily, my senior year, I started off with being a student athletic training aide for our football team. And with that, you know, I had to leave Chicago early in order for me to be able to work with the team. So I left Chicago. I spent my birthday in Champaign yeah, in Champaign, nothing more, nothing less. I was so exhausted. I remember just like being exhausted to even like do anything, and I was like okay with just like sleeping. Like, that's all I wanted to do. Like, we were in like at 5, and then wouldn't get home until probably, I don't know, like sometimes late nights, and then to be back up again and leaving the hotel room by 5 again. So it was very long days, but it did help me a lot in terms of keeping myself busy and keeping my mind occupied. And with that, it also made me grasp like how much more there is out there, and like the people that I was surrounded with, and the coaches and my friends and even the players. Just seeing their work ethic definitely did change my perspective in terms of getting my stuff together and getting to the gym and actually making a change, and not so much of like, oh, I want to lose weight, oh, I want to, you know, go back to my old weight, as I call it, and not actually do anything. Like, literally just complain. Essentially complain about my weight, but do nothing about it. So I remember buying some like really cute shorts, some Calvin Klein high-waisted shorts that summer, and they didn't fit me. So if you go to my Instagram story, they fit me now. They fit me, and I'm so happy, because that's like one of the few things that I actually did keep. and told myself, you know what, I'm gonna lose weight because I'm gonna fit into these. So I do have a couple of pictures here in a lot of these players, and it just showed how much they want it. So it motivated me to get in the gym and, you know, lose weight. And even though I didn't really know what was going on in the training room in terms of like lifting and squatting and like more so of the form, I wasn't really comfortable with it, so I would kind of stay away from that. So I focused a lot on cardio. So I did a lot of the Stairmaster and running and the treadmill or the bike. So I focused a lot on the treadmill, sorry, on cardio during the fall, and slowly I'd get into weights here and there, but it was nothing where I do some like deadlifts or squatting with plates or anything like that, just because, like I said, I wasn't exposed to it before, so I didn't really want to either mess up my back or mess up the form and, you know, not even do it correctly and it not benefit me. So I strayed away from strength training and focused more on cardio. And it wasn't until May when I started training with Thomas. So I'll leave his Instagram right here. He and I went to high school together, and he became a personal trainer, and he's great at it. So pictures, I'll add that here. I definitely don't think this is an ending point for myself. I do enjoy sharing the pictures just because I know one day I want to look back and be like, oh, and I thought I was doing progress then, like look at me now. Like, I don't want to be satisfied with the product that I am now just because I know I want to keep going. Obviously I don't want to be, my goal isn't to be like very swole or anything like that, but I do want to tone up more, and I do want to work on certain areas of my body. But how the live started, how the live started, good question. So HIIT was like one of the new concepts that I wanted to introduce to people, just because not a lot of people know exactly what it is or how it works. I know the timings could be a little confusing, but if you have been following the Instagram page, you know that I'm a huge fan of it. So they started because of COVID, honestly. It was a really dark time for a lot of people in terms of like family members or themselves, or just being indoors and being a homebodies. People weren't really used to, so I know it was definitely tough for everyone in one way or the other. So I wanted to bring that positive light into everything that was going on. I wanted to be able to help someone at least, and to be able to benefit, because ultimately the gyms were closed, and I know people were like, oh, can't wait for the gyms to open, I can't wait for me to be back in the gym, and like, you know, using that excuse to them not working out. So I wanted to give people a reason to work out and use their time wisely, because I know, and even for myself, like I spent a lot of time on my phone, and I ate not too crazy, but I mean I did eat more than regular. So I wanted to maintain myself along with helping others, because I was like, oh well, I know I'm going to work out regardless, so why not just go live? And I remember just going live the first time, and I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. I was like, oh wait, let's do this. Oh wait. And I remember my brother telling me, he's like, honey, breathe. Like, all right guys, that is it for tonight. I hope I answered some of you guys' questions. Sorry if it was like super awkward sometimes, but I'm still getting used to it. Don't mind my dog, she's okay. But no, seriously, thank you guys so much for just the constant support that I continue to receive on the page, or just like DMs, messages, just everything from the beginning to now until the future. I have a lot of exciting things coming up, but just bear with me as they're slowly coming up, and once that time comes, I promise you guys it'll be worth it, I promise. But no, seriously, thank you guys so much for the support. As I've mentioned before, here's the Facebook handle, and then here's the Instagram handle. She's the one that I'm more active on, just because I really enjoy it. But who knows, maybe I'll do a live on Facebook. And then I'm also on Twitter right here, and I don't have Snapchat. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now I can finally say it. Like, comment, no, I know. Like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know. But yeah, so comment any thoughts you guys have, any suggestions, literally anything because a girl could use some help and some tips. But till next time, guys, peace.